Whoever is listening to this, hi. Like, honestly, I don't even know who I'm making this video for. To be totally fair, I don't know if it's for myself in like 10 years from now or if it's someone who needs to hear this. But actually, I really don't know. But I thought maybe I should sit down and start to document my journey. I have been following like a lot of influencers on YouTube and reading their books and listening to what they say, and many of them says that they regret not documenting their journey from the beginning. Yeah, so I thought maybe with this video I can start doing that. Also, maybe I can add to that, what should I call it, environment, something new. Because honestly, when it comes to entrepreneurship and starting your own business, that domain is saturated with people who are telling you to work hard, to you must have a lot of energy, you must learn how to sell, you must learn how to market, you must create a great product, all of that. But they don't talk about the real stuff, the mental challenge, the struggles you are going to go through. Because I'm a mechanical engineer and I have been working for like 10 years on project management, change management, from like in an agile environment, changing from waterfall to agile in big companies like Volvo, H&M, the Nevs car, big companies here in Sweden as well. That probably, I don't know if you will ever know about it, but like, for example, Gothenburg Energy. And I have accumulated, let's say, a fair amount of experience to be able to say, maybe I have something to offer for people out there when it comes to mindset and the change mindset and how we should act and how we should be in a workplace, in our real life. Because I have been coaching not only in a professional environment, I have been coaching also people and like CEOs and leaders and even some people who I don't even know what they are doing in their professional life, but I know what they're doing in their private life, and they come to me for advice. So after all of this, I thought maybe I can start my own thing and start to help people instead of just working, to be honest, in a job that will drain your energy. Because in organizations, the change is always managed by leaders in that organizations, and it's always a question of money, and it's always a question of, is this really gonna serve the product? That is the truth. It's never about really the people in the organizations. So if you are someone who cares about people, you will have a hard time seeing that and still accepting it. And especially someone like me who have a hard time accepting stuff, like for example, the school system, I always had a problem with that since I was little and until I graduated engineering, if you can imagine that. Still, I had a problem understanding why companies and organizations don't prioritize the people, since the people are the machine itself. Without the people, there will be no product, there will be no organization, no profit, nothing. But still, the people are the cheapest resource these organizations have. So like all the processes and all the system they have, they are more expensive in their eyes than the people who are working on them, because they can just replace them. But regardless of this, I thought I should start my own journey and try to build my own business. And I am doing that right now. I'm trying to do that, actually, to be totally honest. And I am in the starting phase. I would say I have started since the beginning of 2025, but really started, I think it's like 3 months in total, when I really got into what I should do to be able to do the thing I want to do, which is, of course, two separate things. So right now I'm really focusing on creating my personal brand, of course, on social media. So I try to create content and post content, educational content on LinkedIn about mindset, achieving goals, achieving high performance, and of course, how to be a better, let's say, human being in general, and perform better in life and show up better in life as well. So I talk about stuff like that. And I started my YouTube channel, of course, I posted only 4 videos until now, but yeah, I started. And on Instagram, I have a page. I started with TikTok, although I don't understand much of it because I think it's like beyond my age. But still, I started and I'm posting. I am trying to understand all of those social media platforms to get to a place where I am a key person of influence, not an influencer, but a key person of influence. And this is my goal. Actually, I want to become someone who is known for talking about how to improve ourselves as humans, because I think we lost our way in our societies. I think a lot of us are a bit lost, a bit shaky. We don't know what we want to do. We don't know how to do something, even if we know what we want to do, but we still don't know how. And I'm thinking maybe I can help with that. But of course, if I'm going to reach that level, of course, I need to generate money first so I can have money to put on making myself more visible, because that costs a lot of money. And I'm working on it. But actually, this video is not, I didn't create this video to talk about the business itself or what I want to sell or what do I want to achieve from the business side. I created this video to be like an honest first documentation of my journey. And I have written even some stuff here that I want to talk about, but when I started talking, other stuff came up because that's how it should be. Actually, it's more genuine, more authentic. But let's see what I put here. Yeah, actually, this is one thing that is really good to start with, because I think many influencers out there, especially business influencers, talk about that we should go and do it. We should go and pursue like creating a business, and it's going to be great because it's a lot of money. But the reality is, it's so hard. I understood that it was hard because, of course, I have seen people, I have had mentors before in the business area, and I've seen how much they work, how much energy they put into creating an idea and making that idea come to a product phase. But still, nothing could have prepared me for understanding how hard this journey is going to be. I keep saying in my mind that, of course, in the beginning it's the hardest, and with time it will get easier and easier. But I am at a phase right now when it's very hard, because you need to do everything yourself when you start. And of course, since I have been in the professional world for like 10 years, I understand you should not spend money if you don't have money coming in, or if you have like accumulated money over time that you want to put on your company just to start it up. That's a different thing. But I am working here right now to get money first and then start spending on expanding this idea or business I have. So it is really hard, and you need to do everything yourself. You need to think about your content, filming your content, editing your content. You need to think about your products. You need to think about networking, and you need to think about managing your time, which is very essential right now, because I am literally working 14 hours per day. I think, if not even more. Like sometimes I wake up at 6:30 or 7 and just go exercise, come back, and then I start working. I might take like a half an hour pause to eat, but then I am working and working and working, and I eat dinner, and then after that I continue working, and then I go to sleep at 10 maybe or 9:30 or something, and then I continue the same circle next day. So it is hard actually, and this is something I want people to know. This is something I want to put out there for people to understand. I am not saying this is something we should not do and pursue, but it is hard. It's much harder than you will understand, or than you think you understand before you start doing the work. And it is very much time consuming. So for example, every video, just an example for you to understand what I'm talking about, every video I upload on LinkedIn, for example, educational video, maximum maybe, let's say 2 minutes, I spend at least 2 hours filming that video and then editing that video and then writing down the post itself for LinkedIn and making it as good as possible for engagement, for people to see it and engage with it from the text and from the video itself. So 2-minute video takes 2 hours to film and create all of that. And of course, don't get me wrong, I am using help. I am using ChatGPT. I am using some tools that makes some like editing a bit easier, but it's still a lot of work that you need to do, because ChatGPT is good at starting something and giving you an idea how, like, for example, the post should look like, but it's you that needs to do the work, that needs to change words to make it yourself, because otherwise it's ChatGPT, it's not you. So you need to make sure that that is what you're doing. So it is a lot of work and it is hard. But one thing I should actually mention while I'm talking about how hard it is that this is the most exciting time I have had actually in a very long time, because I'm learning so much and I'm being challenged in a positive way. It is unbelievable. I didn't know challenge can be so satisfying. Actually, that's something I really want to emphasize here. We usually, when we say challenge, we think about something that will drain our energy and really make us tired. But what I am seeing here is something totally different. The challenge of learning a new thing, especially if you have a goal and you really want to achieve your goal, the challenge is not hard in the sense of like feeling bad when you are doing it or feeling stressed or anxious when you're doing it. It's more that you have a lot to learn and you are putting energy on it and you're trying and you're hustling, but you are like moving forward a bit like slow, but still sitting in this room, in the living room, filming this video and thinking about it at the same time. When I was talking about the hardship of starting your own business, at the same time, the energy is high. And I am really excited. This is an exciting time in my life. I feel that I'm learning so much and I am gaining so much from what I'm learning. And even though like this business doesn't succeed, I will become a totally different person at the end of this journey. But I hope this business will succeed. I really hope so. But I'm just saying what I am learning on the way is really satisfying. So the journey itself is hard, yes, but I don't think a job can give you this type of satisfaction. So if you have this idea of starting a business, I am not discouraging you. I just want to put reality out there. That's my goal with this. And maybe even a reminder to myself, like maybe in 10 years, how hard this was. And maybe by then I am successful, hopefully, and we'll look back and see, oh, okay, I went through tough times and I managed. So maybe I have that in me to manage tough times. Schools didn't prepare us for this. So I studied engineering. Like some people might argue that engineering is one of the hardest specialties or like whatever educations you're going to take, because it's a lot of problem solving. You need really to understand the material you're presented with and then solve problems according to it. So it is hard. But for me, like it was okay. I liked mathematics. I liked physics and all of that. So I didn't feel like it was such a big deal. Actually, I enjoyed my time because it was college and fun, and I had a lot of friends and we were having a lot of fun together. But when you go out to the marketplace and when you get a job, really you don't use that much. Or the job I got, like project management and then like being a coach for transformations and for leadership and then for higher clients, still it didn't, like school didn't prepare me for work life or the real life. And now, especially when I'm starting a business, it's a whole other story. Like really there is nothing from school I am using here right now, beside maybe we had a course about project management, and there I learned about time management. So I'm using some of that skills. But beside that, I don't think anything of what I'm doing is actually coming from school. Like no social media presence, how to get attention on social media, how to get engagement, where to find the right people to help you, how to find mentors, all of that, nothing of it. Marketing, sales, all of that. Like we studied so much theoretical stuff, and now when you come out, nothing. There's nothing you're using here, actually, when you are starting your own business. And the issue with that is, it's like you need to go again and study from 0 to 100 again, because we already did that. But like, honestly, not everyone is suited for a job their whole life. Like some people, like me, for example, I was good and I handled it very well, and I advanced in my work, but I had this urge in me the whole time to create my own thing. I wanted to do it in a different way. I didn't want a job. I wanted my own company. I wanted to be able to influence the world around me in a different way, society in a different way. So I had that as a goal always. So school was not there. School is still not there. And I am not getting anything from schools. So if you are a young person who's thinking about starting your own business, think about what you are going to study first. Because if you have already an idea about what your business should be, and then you go study engineering and your business is marketing, it will be a total waste of time. If you can say that I want to create a business in this domain, then find something to study according to that domain you're choosing for your business. Because what I did here, of course, I am good at problem solving from my engineering time, but what I do, I work with people now. My time is put on people, how people should be, how people should act, and how to change the mindset of people and making them more like a high-performing person. I never learned anything about that in college because I studied engineering. So choose wisely. If you are a young person who's thinking about studying and then starting your own business, choose wisely. Choose something that will teach you marketing, sales, money, business. Don't just choose something and then go out and create a whole other business after that, because that will be a waste of time. Or if you're young and think that you can actually start a business without going to school, do that instead. Learn the skills of starting the business you want to start and do that instead. Because believe me, if you choose the wrong education, you will not use it later when you start the business. And this is what happened to me. Yeah, and talking about not being prepared from school time, there's a lot of unknown, when it comes to starting your own business and moving forward. You don't know where you are moving forward to, or what is it that you're moving forward to. It's very hard to understand because there's not much that you have and you can see in front of you in your future. So it's very vague, and there's a lot of doubt the whole time. I listen to some influencers in the business world, and for example, Alex Hormozy, I really listen to his content a lot, and I really liked what he said one time. He said, you should, if you want to become like a business owner or an entrepreneur, you need to befriend the unknown. As a business owner, especially in the beginning, you need to befriend the unknown. You need to understand that you will not know what to do. And it's okay. That's the cool part about it, because if you are in a job, you will get some time where you feel that you don't know where you're going, but then they expect that you deliver according to the role you're in. But in the business world, you don't need to do that in the same way. You can just take one step at a time, and with time, you will see your path clearer and clearer. But in the beginning, I'm telling you from my personal experience, I really don't know where I'm going right now. The goal is to build the personal brand, and then, of course, to have my own digital product that I can market and sell that will benefit people. But right now, it's very hard to see how I will reach that. So a lot of unknown, a lot of doubt. Of course, you live in a society where people go to work at 7 or 8, and you don't do that, because I work from home. The whole thing I do, everything I create is from home. So I don't go to work. I work according to my hours. And you see everyone outside. As you can see, this is like the balcony, and it's directly on a street here. And I see people going with their cars or walking, going to work in the morning. And that's not what I'm doing. In the morning when they go to work, I go to exercise. And then I come back and start working. And then I see them come back at 5 maybe, or 6. But I continue working until 10. So sometimes you might feel like, is this really something good? Am I doing something right? And the honest answer that I have for myself right now is I don't know. And I don't know how to know, because if I succeed in the future, it will be a good thing. But if I don't succeed, it will not be a good thing. But I have learned a lot from it. So it is a lot of doubt. And society will not be kind to you. People around you will not support you the way you think. You will have people that you love and trust around you, and maybe they will support you, like your close family, your father, your mother, your brother, maybe a wife, a girlfriend, and a close friend. Maybe they will support you, but in general, people around you will think you're crazy and will think you're doing something crazy. They will not understand the mentality of right now, I want to do my own thing, to create my own product, my own life when it comes to work and when it comes to what I want to contribute. And I am willing to sacrifice 1 year, 2 years of my life and my income, because if I had a job, I would have a monthly income. Right now, I don't have an income. I'm spending money I have saved to do this. So people would think I'm crazy for doing this. And I have heard it. People have told me that before. But the idea is I don't need their approval. I know I am doing something because I feel it's right for me, and I'm doing it for myself. If I succeed, great. If I don't succeed, then I have learned so much, and maybe I can choose something else to work on as well. But yes, there is a lot of doubt, and you should be very good at self-motivating. What I mean by that is you might hear like some good motivational words from your close people and the people you love and respect and trust, but it's still not enough, because when you start doubting the whole process, the whole dark world you will enter, it is dark. And what I mean by that is that you will not see much. You can barely see the next step, but you cannot see 10 steps ahead. So that is dark. And if you cannot motivate yourself, if you cannot understand that even when you are doubtful, you need to move forward. Even when you are stressed, you need to move forward. Even when you are afraid of what the results would be, you need to move forward. If you cannot motivate yourself to do that, it will be a very hard journey, because I'm telling you, you will have some down days. I have had days where I felt that I made a huge mistake by quitting that high position job, a job that had a lot of prestige, and started my own thing. I'm trying to figure it out. And even the aspect of the public exposure will add to that fear and to that anxiety you feel in yourself, because right now business is about personal branding and being exposed to the world. Like, of course, there are those businesses that create nails, for example. If you can build a factory that creates screws or nails or some sort of tool, no one has to know you, but you just sell your products into retails, or you have your own boutique or whatever. But the way I am moving forward, I want to create a personal brand, and creating personal brand is about exposure in the market. And that is really something that has been hard in the beginning, and it's still hard, but I'm learning to let go of my fear of public exposure. But it is a thing, and it's really not easy to overcome, because like the first time I posted a picture of myself with a post, that was after a lot of struggle with the fear of public exposure and what people might think about me and my post. And then when that became easier and easier, and then I started posting videos about myself, talking like what I'm doing right now, but of course in short form for LinkedIn, for example, educational videos. And it was still hard. It was still hard, and it is still hard. After I have been doing this for 2.5 months now, posting one video each day, and it's still hard. And I think like it is still, when I'm thinking about I am gonna announce on my LinkedIn that I have a product to sell, I still feel that, oh, people might judge me. And honestly, like the logical side of my brain says that, yeah, even if they are thinking that, they will forget about you in 5 minutes. No one really cares. It's still, there is something that is hardwired for us from primitive times when we lived in tribes, that public exposure may lead to that you are thrown out of your tribe, and no one will talk to you, and everyone will think you're weird. So it is a real thing, and it is hard, and it's not it's not adding any ease to the whole process of starting a new business and talking to people and try to network and try to market yourself and try to pitch yourself and try to pitch your products. It is not adding an ease to it, but it is something to overcome, I think, for everyone who's trying to start their own business. Because if you start your own business, you need to be good at marketing yourself and your products. And you cannot do that if you are afraid of public exposure. So it is something that we need to work on, actually. But my goal is to create a personal brand. And maybe I should talk about it a little bit right now, to be a documented thing for myself and maybe for the listener as well. I think it's very important. And I'm not sure if you guys know about him, but I follow another business influencers, and his name is Daniel Priestley. I hope I didn't butcher his name. And he is the creator or the writer or the author of the book, A Key Person of Influence. And he has been talking about this concept of you need to have a personal brand. The time for CVs and the interviews and this weird systems that HR use when they put your CV in, and how much it matches the job description they put out and how many keywords you have used. That time is going to end soon, because markets are shifting, markets are changing, and we need to go from that to having a personal brand. And you can actually see this trend with many people, many influential people, a lot of CEOs right now are on podcasts and talking, and they are trying to create content. Even the CEO of Instagram, he is there putting content and teaching people how to use Instagram, for example. You can see Trump used that strategy. Before his election, he was on podcasts like Joe Rogan, for example, and he was talking a lot on social media, creating hours for people to listen to him and understand who he is. And I think that was a factor into why he won, actually, as well. No political views here. I don't care. I don't live in US and I live in Sweden, so I don't care about that. I'm just saying that this is where the market is heading. And that's why I'm trying to do this. I'm trying to really share my knowledge, what I have learned throughout the years from my work, to the people that are interested in what I have to say, and see if I one day can become a key person of influence. And maybe then I can create my own sophisticated business beside that idea, the personal brand, and people might want to buy my products. For example, I am working right now on a leadership course. I'm gonna make it either it's like a presentation that a person can read, or I'm gonna play it in, I record the course like this. I present the material of the course and then put it on my website for people to purchase it if they want. So this is the goal, this is the dream, and I want really to succeed in this, because I have been wanting to do this for a long time. I have tried different businesses. I have tried to create a business with Airbnb. It succeeded to a certain extent, but then I got bored of it, so I didn't want to continue. I tried the business in men's clothes, like suits, and it didn't go so well. And before that, I tried a business into creating my own website, like drop shipping. I'm sure if you are here and listening to this until now, you are pretty familiar with drop shipping. So I tried that when it was the hype in the beginning, and I succeeded to a certain extent, but I was not really interested of selling stupid products that you get from China and get 3x the price in profit or whatever. Honestly, when the website succeeded, Sweden introduced a law to tax stuff that are coming from China. So that made the stuff that I was selling at the same price as the stuff that were sold in here in Sweden. So it didn't make any sense anymore. And I didn't want to fight it, because of course you can find other suppliers from Europe then that will remove that tax. But I was not really interested in the idea, so I let it go. So I have started my own businesses here and there, but this is something that I really want, and I really wanted to succeed. So I am really working hard on it and trying to achieve first the personal brand. If I can create my own personal brand and people know who I am, that would be great. And then from there, I will go to try to create my own business. And in that business, I'll try to sell digital products, if it's in the form of presentations or video courses. So I mentioned Daniel as well as a business influencer I listen to. And I listen to Alex Hormozi, I listen to Daniel, and I listen to Ali Abdal. Those three are my top three people I listen to when it comes to business and creating the personal brand, how to think about business and how to think about selling an online course. But I want to talk as well about the idea of finding a mentor, because when you listen to all of those influencers about business, they always talk about finding a mentor is like finding a shortcut. You will easily achieve what you want to achieve in a shorter time, because that mentor knows how to do the thing. Of course, choosing the right mentor that has done what you want to do is the key. But what I want to talk about is how hard it is to find a mentor. Because when it comes to jobs, when I had jobs and when I worked in big companies like Volvo Cars, like H&M and other companies, it was easy to find a mentor there, because you can find someone who has achieved the level that you want to achieve and just go talk to them, seek them out when you have questions or when you need help. But when it comes to business, it's actually not that easy. And I know some people would say, but how hard have you tried? I have tried. I have actually tried hard. And it's not many people who has, for example, done I sell online courses and I'm successful at it. And I have a personal brand and I'm successful at it. And it needs to be at a certain level that they don't think talking to me is a waste of time because I'm just starting. And I need to feel that this person can teach me something, because of course I can find someone who knows a little bit about social media and how to create posts for social media, but that will not help me. I want someone who has achieved as someone who can sell content and courses, digital courses online with their business, and they have an elegant business model that people like and follow, and they have a personal brand. And to find a person like that who is willing to help me is a very big challenge. So that's something I really want to lift up here and say it's not easy. And if you are not succeeding from the beginning, I'm telling you, you're not alone. And I do a lot of networking. So sometimes I meet people who are doing the same journey and they say the same thing. It's not easy to do that. It's not easy to find someone who will invest some time in you. Of course, you can pay for mentors, but to be honest, I have tried that. I have tried that before even I started my own business. And I tried that now. And it's not the same thing. It's not like you have a mentor who is invested in your success. This is a person who's sitting there because you're paying them to sit there. But when you find someone who is invested in you as a person, that's different, because they will really want to teach you, because they are now part of your journey. And they will, I don't know if this sounds like weird, but they will be proud of you if you succeed. So if you can find a person like that, that's a huge win. I'm trying. Of course, I have just started my own business. So maybe with time, I'll find someone when I maybe get better exposure in the market. But for now, it's really hard. And I wanted to say that. A solution to it is, I have been hearing people, like, for example, I listen a lot on YouTube to podcasts about business. And they say, instead of trying to find a person who you can go physically and talk to, maybe you can find an influencer about the subject you want to learn about and listen to that person instead. And I actually agree to a certain extent, the information we are getting right now from YouTube podcasts or podcasts in general, but I watch and listen to the podcast at the same time. The information we're getting from there is unbelievable. Previously, it was books. And I am from that era when it was only books and you could read a book, but finding a good book will take a lot of time. And you might not find it in your library. You can maybe order it online or not, but it was still a very big hassle to find a book. But now you can just watch someone talk about marketing and marketing strategies on YouTube. And that person is really giving value. They are not just bullshitting their time throughout the podcast. No, they are giving real value about, for example, marketing. That's why I listen to Alex Hormozi. That's why I listen to Daniel. That's why I listen to Ali Abdal, because they are really giving value. And there are other people as well that I listen to. But these are my three key people. So I want to say, if you are in the phase when you want to try to find a mentor, but you're having a hard time, try to find like a business influencer out there that is putting content about what you want to achieve or what you want to learn, and listen to them. That information is really valuable. Changing the subject to something else now, something came up in my mind, and I wanted to talk about it here in the video, is how lonely this journey is, actually. Because this is how I am feeling. When you are at a job, you have colleagues and you have people that you interact with and talk to, and people understand what you're going through mentally, because it's a job. Every one of them has done a job, and they probably help you or don't, but they will understand what you're going through if you're starting a new job. But here, the majority of the people around me, around us usually in general, they don't have businesses, they have a job. And to understand that mentality, to understand the challenge and the isolation is a hard thing. And it is very challenging and it is very lonely right now. I sit alone here and do a lot of my work. Sometimes I could take my computer and go do some work outside to sit between people, and I do that sometimes. But the majority of the time I am here. I am sitting in the living room, of course, the whole day, doing my content. I have my desk here with everything I need. And yeah, I am alone the majority of the time doing this. And that's not even the most or the loneliest part of the journey. The loneliest part of the journey is up here. Because the issue is, even if you have people around you that are supportive, like your family, your loved ones, even a girlfriend or a friend, they don't understand what you're going through. They will never do. If they have not done it by themselves before you or at the same time with you, they will not understand what you're talking about. They will not understand why you are feeling lonely. And even if you try to explain, like, this thing is very challenging, finding like a way to get leads to my business is a very hard thing to do, and it's a very key thing to do for businesses. Otherwise, the business will not work. They will not understand what you're talking about. And it will not be a discussion. It will be just you whining a little bit. And then that person would say, yeah, it is maybe very hard, yeah. But they will not understand it. You will not get the same validation if you would have talked about a job and like a bad boss, for example. A toxic boss, because that is something everyone can relate to. Everyone can talk about it, and they can give you stories how they have been encountering a boss like that sometime in their life before or something. But in generalities, when you talk about business and creating a business and what you're doing and the challenges you are facing right now, people will not understand. People will be clueless about it, and they will try to support you. There's something to mention. They will try to support you. They will try to be nice to you and kind to you, but still it's not the same thing. So it is lonely. And a great thing to mention here, actually, one of the podcasts I watched of Alex Hormozy, in that podcast, he talked about something that he called the lonely chapter. And he described exactly what I'm going through right now. And I'm pretty sure there is a lot of people that are going through this journey as well, because he went through it, and he said almost every influencer he has talked to has went through this journey. The lonely chapter, he described it like this. When you start to develop yourself, and when you start to, for example, build your own business, you will not feel that you're part of your old group that you were part of, like your friends and the people around you, because you will not feel the same attachment to them anymore, because you have different mindset and different goals. But you have not reached the level of results that will allow you to be part of the group that you want to be part of, like the business owners, the successful ones, the people who has influence in the market and all of that. So between this group of people and that group of people, there's a gap. And that gap is the lonely chapter, is where you need to work through it. It's very hard, but you need to work through it until you reach that level where you can be part of that type of people. And for me, that was like a mind-blowing thing. It was really like, it blew my mind when I listened to it, because it's so true. It's so true. You cannot talk about jobs anymore when you sit. For example, if everyone around you has a job, when they start to talk about their job, you will understand what they're talking about if you had a job before, but you cannot relate to it anymore because that's not the world you're living in right now. And you don't have people, even when I network, there are no people that usually are like doing the same thing that I'm doing and they want to sit and talk about it. They are there to get customers, they are there to expand on their business and trying to get some profit in. But they're not there to discuss this, to discuss the journey, which I think is a mistake. I think we should have like groups of people meeting and talking about stuff like this, just to feel the support, just to feel that you are not alone, we are all together and we can support each other in this journey. But yeah, it is a lonely time, and I don't understand why it should be like this, since there are so many people who are experiencing this. Even Alex Hormozy has gone through this journey. So if it's so many people who are experiencing this lonely chapter, why aren't we doing something about it? Why aren't we creating some sort of, I don't know, even an app for it? Like if you are in this journey in your life, this app will connect you to people in the same journey and you can connect, talk, learn from each other. For example, that's actually a good app idea. But there is actually one thing to mention here that has helped me a lot during this time. I created my own routines. So I can even show you guys. So this is what I do per day. I hope you can see it somehow. I have a checklist I have written here on this glass piece. It's from IKEA, by the way, if you want to buy one of those. It's pretty cheap. And I have written down, like, I want to exercise, I want to work on my LinkedIn post, I want to work on my other posts, I want to do recordings, I want to work on my website, want to work on other stuff as well. And then I have this rule that I do 100 push-ups and 100 squats, because I sit a lot or I stand still, so I need to keep the blood flowing in my body. So I have those rules. But the thing is, when you create your routines, the work becomes easier, because you know at this time I'm going to do this, and at this hour I'm going to do that thing. So I start my day with exercising, and then I go directly into editing mode, where I go and edit the video for today that I'm going to post today. And then from there I start recording. And after recording, I work on my courses and then the website. And then, of course, between those changes or shifts, I do some push-ups, I do some squats, just body weight, by the way, just to keep the body flow, like the blood flowing in my body. So creating your own routines will help you a lot, because it will make it easier for you to see how your day will look like. And then you can adjust it according to certain things. So for example, if I have a networking event, I might do the editing for the LinkedIn post the day before, so I have time to go to this networking event. But always prioritize your stuff, like I do. Start from the top and go down, of course, and try to manage your time. You have a calendar in your mobile you can use, or you can use something like I have here to set goals for the day. And I do the following, actually. I don't have a specific time. I have goals for the day, and I don't go to sleep until I have done at least 90% of them. I will never say 100%, to be totally honest, because I have a lot I have put on this list, and sometimes it doesn't feel human to be able to do all of that every day. Sometimes some stuff comes up, like, for example, networking, like I go to meet a customer or a client, or to have a meeting with the person who's helping me with my website, for example. So just have goals for every day and manage your time the best way you can, because that will help you so much. Before I did this, the first month, I didn't have this routine, and it was like a messy day. But now when I have it in front of me, I know in my brain how my day will look like, and I will act according to it. But I don't have like specific time when, like, for example, 6 o'clock p.m., I will stop working. I don't do that. I stop working when I have done all the things I have on my list. That's something that I have helped me, and I hope it will help you if you listen to it. This video has became actually very long. It's almost 1 hour now or something. But the last thing I want to talk about here is exercise has kept me sane. And what I mean by that is that the only thing that will keep my body calm, if you can understand that, is exercising. And I do weightlifting, I go for walks, and sometimes I run, maybe 1 or 2 times per week. I run for 1 hour. And I once a week go to a boxing course as well. But those activities have kept me sane, because otherwise I will be focusing on working the whole time without doing anything else. And like when you activate your body, your brain will be very much creative and activated as well. You will, of course, like logically, you will push much blood to it with a lot of oxygen and with a lot of nutrition. So of course your brain will love it when you exercise. But that's not the only thing. I use the exercise time to stop thinking about my work, to stop thinking about what I should be doing right now, to start thinking about what the next move is. I use this time to just relax my brain, but maybe do something with my body that is not that relaxing. And actually, it has helped me a lot. I don't think without it, I think I would be a mess right now, because I think I would be a bit stressed, or I would be like anxious the whole time. But with exercise, you put out some of that energy into something else, and that helps actually. And it helps keep me healthy, because that's, of course, number one goal for me, is to be healthy and to live a healthy life, because without your health, we are nothing. Like the quote, a healthy man has one goal. A sick man has one goal, but a healthy man has many. So my goal is to be healthy. That's the first goal, and then other stuff will come after. So exercise, guys, if you can, do it at least 1 hour per day. Put it on your exercising, and you can actually, you can do stuff. So for example, let me give you an example of what I do when I go for walks. I record myself talking, either by video or just like a sound recording, talking about ideas for my content. Like, what am I going to talk about in my next LinkedIn video, for example? So I start recording some voice recordings or videos to just see what is going on. And what am I thinking? What should I post on? What is the new trend? And I use that after. So even the time, sometimes when I go for a walk, even that time I use it to just let out the ideas from my brain, which I think is a good thing. But I would recommend that you actually, the time you choose for your, I'm not sure who's listening to this, but even for myself, I think this is good. It's a good start. I know I made a lot of grammatical mistakes while I was speaking. Of course, English is not my first language, but we all learn. And this is something to document the journey. It's not something about my language, so I don't really care. I care about putting it out there. Maybe someone will benefit from it, maybe not. But maybe I will come back to it after 5 years and say, okay, that's what I said at that time. Maybe times were tough, but now look at me. I have succeeded. Hopefully that is what I would say. So I'll try to do this every week and put this type of videos for you guys to listen to, or to document this journey for myself or anyone who wants to listen to it. And until then, until next time, have a great day. Physical activities should be only for that. Don't use it for work. I think that's a very big goal to achieve, actually, because then you will protect yourself a little bit from overthinking. You're doing something else and then you go back to work. When you're eating, don't sit and eat and work at the same time. Try to eat and then come back to work. That's another tip that I'm using right now. Before, I was sitting here at the same table and eating my food while I was editing or doing something else. But now I use the time, maybe it's just half an hour. I sit there, I eat, and then I come back and work.